Hello, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the channel again. So today we're going to go over this specific script we've been using with one of my clients to book around 4 to 6 calls a day. Now I have two different types of scripts, and the truth is it's not as much about the script as much as about exactly like the process that you follow when you're speaking to a new lead that's coming in. And this is how we maximize our dollar per lead. We maximize how many leads we get, 16x cash ROI, like all those things, right? So we use this specific framework to get these clients. Now, this script, I've learned from Taki Moore, so I want to give credit to him. I've learned sales from Sam Evans, Eli Weld, Eli Sanchez, David Dre, so many different people I've learned sales from. So by no means is this originally something I've created. This is something I've learned from many other people. That's why the most important thing is actually implementing the script in your business for your ads, which is what we do, right? We actually implement it, we adjust it based on what we need. So there's a lot of questions, right? There's a lot of questions. And the thing is, it's more about the process of how you go through it. And it's more about identifying what you need, like what are the problems that you're facing in the sales call. Because this is a triage call. So the triage call is, let's say a lead comes in, all right, and you quickly call them, you dial them up, and then you do a quick 5 to 10 minute call, up to 15 minutes, where you triage them. So you make sure that they qualify to jump on a sales call either with you or with your sales team, right? So that's the goal. The goal of this script is to make sure they qualify for the main call. Now, in our case, the main thing we need out of this script, because I was teaching it to my partner's wife, right, is the financial aspect. So this is the biggest problem we've had, is making sure they're financially qualified. So we get so many calls every day. So we just want to make sure on the triage, the number one thing we need is, are they financial? Do they have money right now? When will they have money? That's the biggest one. For other people, it'll be different. Like for my type of business, it might be, who do you coach? It might be, how much ad spend do you have right now? How many are you doing high ticket coaching, or are you doing an agency? So these are different questions we're going to ask, and you want to identify it in your business to find out exactly what the key question is. Now, just to walk through it. And obviously you want to introduce yourself, right? You want to for a quick introduction. By the way, if you want these scripts, leave a comment below, and I'll reply with links to both of them, and then you can just change them up, and use them yourself, right? So I forgot to say that, but just leave a comment below. But essentially, hey John, how's it going? Yep, I've got a Know Him account there. We have 10-minute call booked in right now. Is that right? So very simple, right? Hey John, how's it going? And things, the reason we say that is we want to make sure we stay within time limit, and we don't go into a 5-hour strategy session. We just want to keep it 5 minutes. Don't let them ask any questions. This is not a time for them to ask questions. This is time for you to qualify them quickly and get them scheduled in with the closer and the main person. That's the goal of this script, right? You can stand up, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. Keep your answers nice and tight. Keep them small. Keep them to the point. So very, 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 very simple. Once again, don't let them waffle. Don't let them start talking about their entire life story. This is just you asking questions to qualify them for the main sales call, and that's where they can ask all the questions and speak to the closer, right? Now you want to find out, what are your main questions? What are the 3 questions that you need to have that you're going to ask back to back? This is what you want to do. So you want to make a list of those questions. Now, the way you find out is you do sales calls. What's the main objection? Maybe it's the partner, right? So once again, let me just go here. Is it the show up rate? Do you have a massive show up rate issue? If no one's showing up, then that's the main thing you want to talk about. Is it the partner? Is the partner never there? Maybe I also talk to my wife. I talk to my business partner. If that's the thing, make sure you speak about that. Make sure you mention here. All right. Do you have a business or wife or whatever partner that needs to be on the call? If so, can you confirm they'll be in the call? Can I get their email address and phone number as well to make sure they come on the call? We book both of you in at the time that works for both of you. See how I did that, right? Like you want to specifically mention that and really focusing on that question. If that's the main thing that's holding you back at the end of the sales call, where it's like, they talk to my business partner, I can't buy. Now, of course, you can overcome it there, but why would you do that on purpose when you can overcome in the beginning by just having them right there? Like I said, if it's money, then you can talk about this. You can say, hey, do you have a deposit? Can you make a deposit? Can you invest right now? Are you in a position to invest? How much can you invest? And once again, depending on how big your pipeline is, you can be stronger in how much you ask of them in the triage, right? If you have a full pipeline today or this week, making so much money, you can just say to them, hey, our lowest deposit is $1,000. Is that something you can do? That's our lowest payment plan. Is that if they still say no, then you just disqualify them entirely, right? But if your pipeline is dry, you don't have that much going on, you might want to be more lenient. So you might say, hey, are you able to invest without asking for numbers? Because it might be too aggressive. But you can play around with both. Both can work. So you can say, hey, do you have 500,000, whatever your lowest payment plan is, to invest at a bare minimum, and that way they can actually get into your get booked in with the sales score. So once again, you want to score them like 8, 9, 10. And once again, you want to get them quite high up before you book them in, because realistically, if you get someone that just doesn't have money, can't even make it on time, all that stuff, and obviously you don't book them in, you just disqualify them most likely. But that's why you really want to push to get the answers you need, get the confirmation, and then put them on the main calendar, right? So once again, it's about identifying what are the main problems you have and putting that into the script. That's how we do it, right? And our main thing is the financial. So we really focus on the financial aspect to make sure that they actually, they'll actually have money to pay, because everything else is usually fine. They're usually qualified. In our case, they're qualified. They know what we sell. They know they do the thing that we're selling, which is trading. They know all that stuff. There's just the money. So we really focusing on that in a Triage. It's the number one thing. That's what we focus on. So in your case, what is your number one thing? Right, in my business, it might be I can't think of number one thing, but it could be just being qualified, right? Just maybe having ad spend, for example, right? Maybe it's the ad spend, maybe it's specific type of client, or like, are you let's say you target relationship coaches and you keep getting therapists. Let's say, for example, are you a relationship coach? No. Okay, well then leave, right? Like they have to confirm they are what you want, and they'll pretty much go through the questions. Now, in general, you want to ask about the money. You want to ask about the problem. Like, once again, maybe in your case, maybe they are qualified, they have money, but it's about the problem, and do they want to solve it now? So if that is the problem for you, then what you want to do, you want to say, hey, when are you looking to solve this problem? Like, when do you have the capacity to solve this problem? When do you have the bandwidth, mental and financial, right? So you want to ask them these questions. When are you potentially looking? What could be in the way? When you want to start on something to fix this problem? And that's how you can figure out, like, because if they say, oh, I have a holiday coming up and we're moving houses or whatever, and we can only do it in a few weeks, if you book them a strategy session, you're just going to be wasting your time, because they're going to give you an objection, they're not going to buy. So you're like, all right, when is that? Oh, it's in 2 weeks. Okay, let's book you in after those 2 weeks. Would that be a good time? And they can reconfirm, yeah, that's a good time. We have the money. I'm ready to chat. I'm ready to start. We basically just want to eliminate excuses. So that's what I would really be looking at. And let's see. And then show up rate. So once again, if you have a massive show up ratio, people who, let's say in B2C especially, people who don't show up, then you want to be like, hey, tomorrow, like, we kind of, again, you could be getting a lot of these now, so we're kind of, looking at that as well. So you want to confirm, will you show up exactly on time on this call you book? So you want to triple confirm the call. Is there anything else that can come up? And by the way, one thing we figured out for our niches, weekends don't work. So we don't even allow people to book in on, especially Sunday, but weekends we avoid, because we know the show up rate is terrible, is absolutely terrible. And so we only do Monday to Friday, and the show up rate is always, because the people we target, just the average person, the weekends, they just go out with the friends, they just never show up. They have too many things coming up. So maybe you just block out the weekends, especially in B2C. Because sometimes you can test it out, but our show up rates are disgustingly low, and we could have just scheduled them in for the weekday, and we would have had them show up and bought the program. So we actually eliminate that problem, excuse me, by just having them book on weekdays only. So that's something you can look at as well. Another thing we're doing now, another qualifying question, once again, it's about the framework. I can read out a script, but it doesn't really help you if you don't have the framework. So then another thing we do now is making sure they've watched our entire VSL, because we're having an issue as well with people are not watching the whole thing. So this is another triage question. Hey, did you watch the entire VSL? So because we have a theme in the VSL, because we know it's people who watched it, they usually buy. People don't watch it, don't buy. So we got, have you watched it? Oh, you haven't watched it, that's fine. We have a requirement that everyone must watch it before they come on a sales call. Can you confirm you watched the entire thing before the sales call, before you come on with our main person? And they should say yes, and then you can reconfirm that they've watched the whole your sales assets. And by the way, you should do this anyway. You should have a powerful sales asset that you know, if someone sees this, if someone watches that sales asset, that they should buy. Maybe it's your best interview. Maybe it's your best piece of training. Maybe it's the one where at the end of the call, they're like, I bought because I saw that video. I bought because I saw that video. Now you need to make sure everyone that comes, before they book, they'll watch that video. And you have to make sure they watch it, because you're actually losing sales by not having them watch it. So you really want to push them to watch that sales video. And that's something I would do as well. Yeah, once again, if our solution is right for you, when are you looking to start? This is another question I would ask as well. Is people who delay things. So if you get constant delays or whatever, then that's something I would ask as well. If you have a lot of competition in your space, a lot of people doing the same thing as you, then you're going to want to ask as well, are there other solutions you're looking at? What is kind of in the way? But you really want to have a few key questions that you ask. You don't want to ask too many, right? Because then it becomes a whole long call. Once again, you want to keep it 10 minutes or less, right? 10 minutes, a few key questions, get the main thing, the main like domino, right? Like in our case, the financial. Like if they say they got money, everything else usually good. In your case, maybe it's the partner, maybe it's the show up rate, whatever that big domino is. Make sure you get that one out of the way, and everything else you should usually work out. If I go in, so this is our other script. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in a little bit more here. So this is more of a qualifying script. This one's more cold. So this one, we're talking about leads that are coming through the ads, and they would typically want to run the script. But if we have something that's more cold, like this one, then once again, it's the same kind of question. Do you run done for you one-to-one? In your case, do you run a trading business? Do you run a consulting? Do you run a relationship coach? Basically, just qualifying that they are who you want them to be, right? Are you looking to do this? So once again, if you're offering a transformation, you want to ask them, are you actually looking to do this? Now, this is a more cold script. This is people, maybe you're dialing them on the phone. So maybe I should make another video on this. I don't want to confuse you too much. I just want to show you some questions you can incorporate into the triage. Because this is more of a cold qualifying. Not cold as in maybe from your list. So what's the main problem you want us to solve? Have you been looking for other solutions? How long have you been thinking about this? This is a big one as well. How long have you been trying to solve this? This is leverage you can use. You know, someone has been thinking about this for 2 years. Someone that just had this problem last week. You know, they can buy differently, right? Because usually, if they've been around for a long time trying to fix this, and they've tried a lot of solutions, they're more likely. But so it's good for you to know what they've tried and how long they've been trying to fix this. There's more pain there, right? If someone's overweight for 5 years, there's a lot of pain, and they've tried all the solutions, so you can use as leverage to get them to solve their problem. Other than yourself, who also be involved. So once again, these are two different coaches I've got these scripts from that I've learned it from, and you can see it's the same kind of process. Once again, it's not about the script; it's about getting the outcome, and whatever the key questions is for your outcome is what you want to ask. So great. Would there be any reason apart from an earthquake that you wouldn't be able to make the call? A bit extreme, but you know, is there any reason you wouldn't be able to make it? So once again, if it's a show up rate issue, which is something a lot of people have, is it's just a show up rate, right? It's like people don't show up to the call, and you know, there's other automations and whatnot you can put in. But let me know in the comments, what problem are you getting with your calls? Like, what's the main one? And I can make a video specifically for that. If it's show up rate, I can show you how to attack show up rate specifically, right? Like, what are the automations? What are the texts? How do you set up your survey? How do you set up your landing page, your opt-in page, your thank you page, your automation emails, your texts, your reminders? How do you set all that up to maximize your show up rate? And I can show you some of the strategies we have really work very well. So just let me know in the comments, what's the main thing you're seeing that's a problem? What's the main issue? And then hopefully, we should be able to have a solution for you. But let me know if you have any questions about this. Let me know in the comments if you want these documents. I can put them, I can link them up to you, and what the key problems you have, so that we can make a specific video just to target that specific problem in your triage. And then we can just take it from there. Hope